Right, kwa sasa let's go straight into our first topic where we are talking about the East Africa community. Tunaongea kuhusu Jumuiya la Afrika Mashariki. Na nataka kuuliza, are we in support of the EAC?
I'm not in support.
Why?
As it is now, with the politicians, we are not getting anywhere. So when we become a whole East African community, how will it be?
East Africa community is a population of over 100 million people. You can imagine the economic benefits, huh? You know, the economies of scale that you get out of numbers. You know, you can imagine working in Uganda without a permit. You know, crossing the border to Burundi without, you know, anyone, you know, asking you for a permit. The opportunity, the job opportunities, the economic business opportunities the region offers are enormous. So I totally support the idea.
Kisii are very passionate about this because they know ajpane mandisi zetu sote zinatoka wapi? Uganda. So, you know, tax free. Yeah. So who else, what's your opinion about the EAs?
Apart from the economic benefits, there's also now the evils, so to speak, that we will be exposing ourselves to with regard to opening up our borders to all that. And managing the borders when we are merged like that would probably be a bit more, would need to beef up our security.
You see, like Rwanda has 70% women, statistics. So they're importing men from Kenya, from Uganda. Status, you can put your status on Facebook, they're importing men.
So you're just thinking about what you will get out of it, yeah?
No, I'm just saying we can help each other.
Okay, let's go to more serious issues apart from your intermarriage.
Apart from importing women, you know, in the modern economic world, you know, it is better when you trade as an economic bloc. Even the EU, you know, as a single economic bloc. So if we can have the East Africa community as a single economic bloc, we can attract more foreign investments.
But that has been one of the contentious issues. Because let's see, for example, Kenya, we are a bit higher economically than Tanzanians or Ugandans. And so, that ukiangalia the other side, kuna fear on their end that we can overpower them tukiingia kwa EAC. So don't you think inaweza ikapose a problem in the integration?
Integration is we are taking advantage of numbers. And that means that we are at a better position actually to even collectively bargain.
Kenya is ahead in terms of infrastructure development and other aspects of the economy. However, Uganda and Tanzania are actually catching up. Do you know that Uganda has oil now? They discovered oil. They're actually exploiting it now. Oil, you know oil? So what I'm saying is, in a few years to come, they'll be like us, and we can benefit from their oil.
We are saying they're catching up, but we're also moving. So I don't know whether we expect them to get to where we are.
If you've been following how it has been, how they have been implementing the EAC, the EAC protocols, they are kind of staggered. You know, they say, because Kenya, you are ahead, you know, Tanzania will not pay tax to export this to you, but you pay tax to export this to Tanzania. If you've been following, that's how we've been doing it. So these economies that are not as strong as Kenya can catch up.
Originally it was founded in 1967, if I'm not right. Then it collapsed in 19. So I think we need to look at what made it collapse before we think of the integration and what are the benefits, so that we face those challenges. And maybe if we are to integrate this time, we overcome those challenges.
We haven't looked at the impact it has on the psychological mindset of individuals, because we say we are proud to be Kenyans. What will happen of us, when we become, East Africans? We love to somehow forget the Kenyan identity. So it's something, and also the legal frameworks. Do we have yet the mechanisms to handle some of the situations that are going to arise, as she was saying?
Just hold that thought. Tutaendelea na hii mada, but for now, let's watch a small insert and we'll be right back to the debate.
Started as a customs union, which essentially means that they have common policies as regards several goods of trade, or as regards trade around the East African community. free movement of goods means that competition is high. It means better quality goods. It means bigger markets for producers. It means better returns, of course, for investors. You get the value for your money. But more than that, it also means that if producing sugar in Kenya is expensive, then can we do it in Uganda and get it in Nairobi at the same price as we are getting it now, or even lower? When you have a critical mass of 120 million people, it means that any external investor will think twice about ignoring you. So money will come, and when money comes, employment is created. Only those people who have access to legal advice, like the big corporations, exactly know what is happening in the East African Corporation, to legal and financial advice, that is. The normal Kenyan in the streets know very little about EAC. The only danger to EAC is the selfish ambition of the people leading it, because the people leading the idea are politicians. And you and I know how reliable they can be. If EAC fails, we will remain where we are right now, which is with nothing.
Okay, reactions to what we've just watched.
If it doesn't work, if it's not successful, at the end of it all, we will just remain where we are, which we have nothing to lose really.
Let's talk about the Common Markets Protocol. In kitu ambayo mentioned over and over again, sawa, and it provides for free movement of goods, services, people, sawa. Like and they met last year and they wanted to put it in place. It never happened really. They just talked about it. Like ukiangalia what is happening right now. If you go to a place like Tanzania and you are carrying out a temporary assignment, you have to get a business visa of $100 for every 3 months you're there. Kenya scrapped that a long time ago. When you go to Rwanda, you don't need a visa, you don't need a work permit, you just work there freely. So why is there such an imbalance?
I think also it's a way to discourage people maybe to actually go and flock in their country, trying to exploit their resources or their job markets. You know, maybe they're trying to promote their own local people to, you know, swarm their job market and all that. So I think it's a way of control, which is healthy for any country. It's just that I think now when we integrate as the East African community, such things will be now better for us.
There's this type of broom called ufagio makuti. If you take 1 feet from that ufagio makuti, it's very easy to break it. But if you're given the whole ufagio makuti to break it, it's very difficult. I'll borrow the same thing to when we integrate. I think we are going to be stronger, and with numbers, there's something called economies of scale. We'll be able to actually bargain for more, and it's easy for us, as in we'll actually get money, and there'll be a lot of power.
We need the backing. First, let's integrate, then we move and leave the rest.
But you see, you have to be cautioned. You have to be
No,
cautioned.
if you move alone and you fall down, you won't have a support system. So you go.
But we've been alone this whole time, yeah, we've been alone and we're doing well.
Let me tell you,
True, but we do better with the other
there's progress.
resources that
There's progress.
we benefit from all the other areas. We do so much better. So let's first integrate, get that backing, the support, then we move on. Kenyans are generally just aggressive people.
Okay.
We make it no matter what.
One of the core values is accountability. Sawa, we need to be accountable to each other, which means at least tunafaa kuwa na freedom kidogo ya kusema nini inaendelea pale. And let's take basically and what has been happening in Uganda of late with the demonstrations, and unaona venye anakuwa manhandled and everything is happening. Now, are we in a position kama a member state of the EAC who interfere, or not really interfere, but just chip in?
Of course,
Uganda?
of course.
Why
yes.
are we not doing it?
People have done that.
Where?
There are politicians who have commented on that.
Commented.
Apart from commenting, what else do you expect them to do? Military intervention, take the Kenya army to...
That is why the East African community will do well, because it will give us the power to actually do something about it.
Like right now, people are operating independently. We don't have that power. We are thinking like Kenyans. We are thinking like Ugandans.
Yeah.
But at that time, like when we come together, we can't see them suffer because we are together.
Yeah.
And of course, when you come together, we will have like it's not like we'll just come from the moon, sit down, and decide just like that. We'll have some agreement that will be put on the table.
But I think it's all based on whether we will get good leadership of this whole thing.
True.
Because we need to.
That is a risk.
That's not the
We are
problem. We
taking.
have
By the way,
very good
Museveni
ideas.
wants to be the first leader of the years.
Of course, and a Kenyan something will come up. And
But
Tanzanians,
already
so
there's
they're
a picture that Museveni has painted in our heads.
Okay, so
Really,
let's-
would we allow that to
You
happen?
see? Now that's where
I
the
don't
problem
think
will
so.
go.
Maybe we should
Where
give
do we
to
get
that
that
leader.
Ah, of course.
Where do we get that
Jioni
leader?
kuwe please.
Because
Bas, haki ya Mungu. Hautafurahi. Bas.
Okay, so let's close it. Will it work or will it not work?
It will work.
It will work.
It will work.
If
It will not.
I think if we prepare well, it will work.
Okay. Sawa. That's well and good. Food for thought, Cindy.
Yeah.
I think in Kitutu you're supposed to keep thinking about it over and over and think as a country, as a member of a country, what can I do to make it better? What can I do to make Tanzanians less suspicious?
Yeah, and
I'll
also, you know, Tanzania, it's very hot, so they're a bit lazy. So the first time,
That's wrong.
it's just geographical. That's why the
wrong.
first time we
Don't-
say
don't
this
use
should
that
work.
word. That's hate speech, eh?
No, not hate speech.
yeah.
Let me justify my point. Let me justify my. The first day we told them it's okay, we can cross borders. Walikuwa wanakuja kufika katika kusema brother nishachoka turudi
You are so on your own on that one. Bado tuko kwa matatu ambapo tunaendelea kusema kitu. JB sema kitu.
Yeah, and right now we want to go to the streets. Bado hatuja decide kama tunaenda Ugandan streets, Tanzanian streets, Kenyan streets. You know, ni
Kenya,
siku-
tunaenda Kenya.
Oh.
Tunaenda Kenyan streets. Watu tusikie watu wanasema nini.
I believe the East African community is something that is going to bring the region to a financial stability.
Hiyo pamoja tutasaidiana juu tutasaidiana, ukienda huko narudi Kenya, naenda Tanzania, rudi Kenya, unafanya biashara zako. Nakuwa ni kazi mzuri.
Definitely the person will benefit common mwananchi. And to be easier for people to invest in in foreign countries.
I actually think it's actually a very good idea because first of all, as in it allows intermediary between countries, and at least you can go work somewhere else without a permit. You know, some Kenyans find it hard to find jobs in Kenya, so I think it would enable them to move around more easily, because if you can get a work in Tanzania, why not? Go for it.
Kwani ulikuwa na prefer tende streets za Uganda ama za Tanzania? Which ones?
Uganda, because in Uganda we are having very good bananas. It is a full condition.
By the way, hapo full condition tu unaongea kama Uganda. Hiyo nyingine sijui ni nini. Otherwise, we're going for a short break. We'll be right back.